Hey folks, welcome back to Deer Corner. Glad to see you're with me. And I hope you all had a good 4th of July. Hope you got all your fingers. And the 4th of July is something special to me and to this country. We all have a new year. The whole world has a new year, January 1st. But this country, this great country we are in, 4th of July is our new year. And the story goes is that if you lower your flag, we'll stop shelling. But the flag never did get lowered. Dawn came and the flag was still standing. And we became a country that morning. And that's what the 4th of July meant to me. It meant a lot of us this weekend. We figured the last 27 years we've been meeting on the 4th of July up in Kentucky at our deer camp. And for 27 years all of us have showed up. And the funny thing about this time, we had the prettiest sunset. It had all the colors of the rainbow. It was calm. It was just beautiful. So we all sat there and watched the sunset. And talked about old times. And we always used to have to go up and just step up and go onto the porch into the bunkhouse. And it's funny because now we got hand railings for us to get up and get on the porch. Times have changed. Many years have passed. So now we got hand railings. And I guess the next thing's going to be wheelchair ramp. But we decided to keep it. We're going to keep going. We also took our mounts and we had them taken up, got them cleaned, got them touched up, and got brought back. But see, there in our little lodge we got 8 mounts, 8 members, 8 owners. Each one of us have a mount, and we made the big mistake in not writing the dates on them. And we could not figure out the first mount that was brought in, and 35 years ago, 37 years ago, but we never did date them. And we talked about that, and we had 8 mounts which we put back after we had them cleaned and touched up. And we got a lot of deer stands moved. Quite a bit accomplished, but we had a real good time in doing it. We have what they call a potluck, and some people don't know what a potluck is, and that's where you bring a dish. And at supper time, everybody brings a dish, and you sit down and you have supper. So we had quite a bit of food. Basically, everybody stayed 3 days. Got everything accomplished. Stands moved, and this is something that was brought up. Why do we move or look or locate stands this time of year? And this was a good explanation why. Now, from one deer stand, you would not have seen it. You would have got into that deer stand and you wouldn't seen anything. You wouldn't see deer. And the reason being is that a big tree fell. And you couldn't see the tree from the stand. If you weren't out scouting and looking, you wouldn't have found it. But we noticed the deer were not traveling that area anymore. And we couldn't figure it out why. So we finally got back, started looking. We found that tree. And what happens like that, a tree falls. And the deer are used to passing through that area. Well, the deer now, when they come in, they'll find that tree and they'll go around it. Well, deer don't come to the tree, go down around it, come back up and go. They don't do that. They'll end up arcing around that tree. So if that stand is sitting here and you don't see the down tree, them deer aren't coming across, they're arcing around that tree. They'll be coming around it. Therefore, they're not coming in where they used to in front of the stand. And a matter of fact, we had to move that stand about a half a football field to where they were traveling. So if you don't get out and do some scouting, do some relocating of your stands and checking before deer season, you can have a lane stand. You can have a stand, for instance, you use a climber and you get out and you're not doing any scouting and any looking in that area. That tree you're used to going up may produce deer every year. But like what happened to us, we had a big tree fall, which relocated the deer. The deer moved a different direction, a different route. So you're going to get your climber out at night, climb this tree, but don't see any deer. Next thing you're going, well, deer aren't here. There ain't many deer, or you're going to come up with excuses. But yet, somewhere on the line, something happened to change your route. In this case, it was a tree that followed, but it could be many, many things. So if you don't get out early enough to do your scouting and your locating, it can hurt you in the long run come deer season. But I'm glad you're with me. We had a good time. We're going to be hunting Missouri. We picked up some ground, more ground in Missouri. So we're going to be hunting Missouri too. But all in all, I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. And hope everybody kept their fingers. And I hope to see you again. I'm heading back up to the cabin to the mountains. I got a lot of work up there to be done. Whole lot of work. Firewood to stack. It's a never-ending thing. And I'd love to go fishing. Now, I'll tell you right now, perfect weather to be out on a lake fishing. But I think I bit more off than I could chew, and I got a lot of work here to do to deer hunt and get ready for deer hunt. My grandkids and my son been helping, and we've been getting things ready to go. Here we got a couple months going, and that's the other thing we changed in our bylaws up there. We usually don't get together till the second week of deer season, gun season. And the reason being we changed that way. The first 2 weeks are youth. So a member or owner can bring a youth with them them first 2 weeks and hunt. Well, we changed that too over the campfire. And we going in now, and we will all get together on the second week of gun season. Therefore, the youths have 4 weeks of hunting before we come in and hunt. But we sat around the campfire, had a good campfire going, and got some bylaws changed. We're getting older, we had to do some changing. But that's one of the changes we did. We're pushing to the youth and getting the youth more interested. So now instead of 2 weeks, we allow 4 weeks up there. And then we come in, we hunt that, get together, we hunt that 3rd week. Then after the 3rd week, each member can come for the rest of the year and hunt individually. But that's how we set it up. That's how we keep our arguments down and keep things going. Like I said earlier, if one disagrees, it's a no-go. We all have to agree to make it happen. And it keeps the arguments down. And over 40 years, we've been all hunting together. We're a big family now. I mean, I'm closer to some of them hunting members than I am my own family. And we're just a big family now, getting together and having fun and enjoying it. We're getting older, and it's just